Hey, I have a second channel. Cube Compium TDX. Hey everybody, here it is, the month of October, and that means we should start talking about some spooky stuff. And one spooky thing that comes to mind is the thought of Windows Vista on a netbook. At least this is a spooky thought for many out there. That's because Windows Vista has such a bad reputation as being a sluggish, bloated piece of garbage operating system that would just run super slow on just about anything out there except for, say, a supercomputer. That's all myth, really, to be honest. Here we have this Aspire 1 netbook with the Intel Atom N270 CPU, 1.5 gigabytes of DDR2 memory, which was upgraded from the original 1 gigabyte. We currently have a 7200 RPM 2.5-inch SATA drive in this machine. Yes, a hard disk drive, not an SSD. And here we are running Windows Vista. What version do we have here? Windows Vista Home Premium. So yeah guys, Windows Vista Home Premium running on this thing, running beautifully. No significant performance issues to report whatsoever. I mean, I've seen computers with Xeon processors and 16 gigs of RAM with a hard disk drive run Windows 10 21H2 much slower than this. So, for example, if I change out the gadgets and I go grab the gadget that shows you the CPU and RAM usage, we can see just at a glance how much memory we're using. We're using 35% of the 1.5 gigabytes of installed memory. Our CPU is actually pretty much idled down. Not much going on there. Yet we're running Windows Vista with full Aero effects on the Intel 945, I believe it is, graphics chipset. I can go confirm that just to be sure. No fancy graphics, just integrated graphics. And here I'm going to Device Manager the old-fashioned way. Yep. Mobile Intel 945 Express chipset family graphics. And yet this thing is running probably one of the most hated operating systems of the 2000s, Windows Vista, running it just fine. It's for fun. Let's pull up Windows Media Center. Tell you what guys, Windows Media Center, it was definitely one of my most favorite things back in the 2000s because I used it to, of course, watch and record TV shows And it's a dang shame that Microsoft quit supporting it. And you can see we're running this pretty dang well. Now, of course, I don't have any files on here other than the sample files. There's a little bit of lag there. A little bit of lag once in a while on that Atom CPU. Yeah, here we are running Windows Vista Home Premium. For the most part, with ease. I'll tell you, some people out there absolutely hated this operating system from Microsoft. But Windows Vista, it just has a place in my heart, really. It was the first new version of Windows to work with after Windows XP. I mean, when I started working on computers, Windows XP had been out for at least a few years, and going from the kind of pale looking XP to this right here, it was just beautiful. And if you had the right system, which you didn't really have to have a super powerful machine, it would actually run pretty smooth. Get you a little better zoom there. In Windows Vista, it was kind of like that halfway operating system between the newer Windows 7 and the older Windows XP. I mean, the control panel looks very Windows XP. And you can see, of course, the start menu is very similar to that of Windows 7. Windows Vista was the final operating system for Microsoft to be fully bundled with things like your Windows Movie Maker and stuff like that. Now, I can say Windows 8 and Windows 10 and Windows 11, they do come bundled with like a photo viewer and things like that. Windows 7 was very stripped down. I mean, Windows 7 did have Windows Media Center. That was one of the best things going for it. And it was arguably the best, I'd say the best version of Windows Media Center was Windows 7. But yeah. Let's go ahead and launch something else here. Now, I don't have a DVD burner on this machine. Oh heck, let's go and launch the Windows Vista Movie Maker. So guys, I was actually using the Vista Movie Maker to edit videos up until this year. Yep. I still have it installed. It will actually run on Windows 10 and even Windows 11. But being software that's over 10 years old, it's just definitely wasn't up to standard. So, and I definitely had some issues with it. It was kind of glitchy. But yeah, I did use this software right here to edit videos for this channel up until early this year. Yeah, guys, Windows Vista. I'm not sure if I have all the updates installed. Let me see what I do have here. I do have Service Pack 2 on here, but the thing about Windows Vista is if you try to connect to Windows Update, which I'll show you, this is actually online right now. If you try to connect to Windows Update and try to download updates, it simply won't be able to find them. And we are indeed connected to the internet. We have this old version of Mozilla Firefox on here. YouTube may not much care for it. Let's see what happens here. You can see how it's saying, oh, it's untrusted, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's because the date and time on this thing reset to January 2001. Let's fix that. Yeah, this netbook, that's what happens when these things the old computers sit unplugged for a while. Not sure if this netbook has a CMOS battery. Probably does. It's probably dead. That's one thing I'll definitely have to put on my notes if I ever open this thing up again, is to look for one. And change our date and time. It is October 2022. Funny to think how Windows Vista can even run and not get super confused with that date. It is October the 7th. It's funny, the clock is right. It is 12:36 a.m. because yours truly always stays up late to do YouTube videos. Let's go ahead and reload this. There we go. And it may not load properly because this is a very old Firefox. Now you can see things are starting to slow down a little bit, which is typical for netbooks. You try to do anything like modern with them, like browsing the web and stuff. Yeah, things definitely do slow down. So we'll just say that this build of Firefox just isn't going to quite work with today's web. But the operating system in general, though, I mean, it runs pretty dang well on this system. I mean, Windows Vista, again, has such a reputation of being such a slow, bloated piece of garbage when, heck, on this netbook, which originally came with Windows XP, it's running, I'd say, really well. Open up a few different things here. You can see how Windows Vista had that this graphical thing here. You know what's funny? There were add-ons for Windows XP to give it a fake Aero glass look and also do that kind of, you know, manage the windows. Yeah, WinTab is actually how you would pull that up. It's WinTab, and you hit the tab key, tab through your windows. I was so interested in the eye candy of Windows Vista back in the day. I mean, it was definitely a beautiful operating system, for sure. So yeah, this netbook running Windows Vista Home Premium pretty dang well. So I do want to mention again, if I didn't mention already, it's Vista Home Premium, but it's 32-bit. I think that does help a little bit. But in a later video, I'm going to actually be installing Windows Vista 64-bit on this newer netbook. This one right here with the Atom N450 processor, because I'm going to do a comparison between Vista and Windows 11 performance on that machine. Yes, Windows 11. So yeah, guys, to wrap this up, here you have it. Windows Vista Home Premium running on an old Acer Spiral 1 netbook. And running quite well. Yeah, that's definitely really slow and bloated. That was the big rumor of Windows Vista, is it was slow and bloated. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Well, everybody, that wraps it up for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to CubeComputer channel, and be sure to tick the bell. That way you get notified of new video posts. Also, I recommend following CubeComputer Company on Facebook. A link is in the video description. In addition to computer tech videos, I have a second channel, CubeCompMTDX. Links are available at the end of this video. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching and your support.